So we're here with Erling Ellingsen, the Director of PR and Communications for FunCom, and we're here to talk about Secret World. So first off, I have to ask, for those of you that have heard of Secret World, now it's been in production for a while, but can you give us a bit of background about the game?
Sure, absolutely. The Secret World is a massively multiplayer online game, so you play together with thousands of other players. What truly sets it apart is first and foremost the setting. It's set in our own real world. So you get to visit, locations like New England, Egypt, Transylvania, New York, London, Seoul. At one point, you even go to hell, which may or may not be a part of our real world. I don't know. And the twist is that everything is true. All the legends and myths and conspiracy theories of the world are true. Stonehenge is a source of magic. It's a source of magic. The Earth is hollow. Werewolves stalk the woods of Transylvania. All of it is true, basically. And the other thing, the defining feature is that there's no classes or levels. You're not locked into like your warrior class or a healer class or whatever. You can choose from over 500 different abilities and mix and match these to create the build that you wanna play. So it's an MMO that I think it definitely it's definitely set apart from the crowd, I would say.
An MMO for mass appeal.
Absolutely. I mean, the Secret World bridges. I would say the Secret World bridges the gap between single-player games and multiplayer games, just because it's very accessible. You don't need to know for instance, how to play a class specifically. Like many MMOs is like if you don't play this class really well, then you're screwed. But I mean, in the Secret World, you build your own class, so it doesn't really matter. And also the fact that storytelling is hugely important in the Secret World. It's, the story. There's always a storytelling element to everything you do. It's very, mission driven and following a storyline, talking to characters, watching cinematics. I mean, stuff that you normally find in single player games. So I think we really bridge that gap between MMOs and single player games.
So one of the main premises is that there's 3 warring factions fighting evil, but still warring in Secret World. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we have the Illuminati, the Dragon, and the Templar secret societies. And when you first start out playing the game, you choose which one you want to be part of. And through the game, you basically, every mission that you do, you report back to your secret society, and you get the rewards, and they give you, all right, great work checking out that mission. That was really good investigation work of you, or whatever. And there's also, ranking missions that you have to do for your secret society as you move up the ranks and collect the rewards. And of course, the PvP is extremely important for the whole secret society dynamic. We have what we call battlefields, which are places like Stonehenge and El Dorado, the City of Gold, which are smaller battlegrounds, those battlefields. And then you have massive war zones, which are with over 100 players, clashing on a battlefield, persistent wars going on between the 3 secret societies. So, and of course, those secret societies, I mean, they inform everything in the game, from the PvP mechanics to the storyline.
Good. Okay, so you just touched on it earlier there. You said Secret World is completely out of classes or levels. So how does this interact with character progression, and how are you hoping to change character progression with Secret World? Well,
I mean, in our game, creating or forming your character is part of the fun. You don't just, okay, now I'm level 2, now I get these abilities, now I'm level 3, I get those abilities. In the Secret World, you have something we call the ability wheel that you can open, and in this ability wheel there's over 500 different abilities, and you can basically get all of them on one character if you play long enough. You buy abilities with what we call ability points that you get through killing monsters, doing missions, and you can buy any of these abilities, and the abilities are split into assault rifle abilities, hammer, pistols, chaos magic, elementalism, that sort of stuff, fist weapons. And the key is finding abilities that work together, that create synergy. And so you can sort of think of the abilities in the ability wheel as cards in a collectible card game. And you can only bring 7 active and 7 passive abilities with you into battle, or when you're out, exploring. So you can sort of think of that as your deck of cards.
Yeah.
And you can mix and match at any time. You can, for instance, and again going back to synergy, finding abilities that work together. For instance, one ability that sort of, assault rifle ability that knocks your enemy down to the ground, and then you can find a hammer ability that does extra damage to enemies that are lying on the ground because you smash them in the face or whatever. And finding those two and these really work together, putting them on your ability line and using them, you can. I mean, it's like a meta game in itself. It's like an art form and a science. I mean, finding these different things that work together and creating builds that truly work for the way you want to play the game. And at any time, you can just switch builds. You can,
so very much personalization.
Very much so. I mean, 1 second you're a tank, the other you're a healer. You can switch at any time.
So we heard rumors last year. Now I'll say rumors that the Secret World may be coming to Xbox 360 because it's. Can you tell us anything about that? Can you give us any hints? Or
well, no, we're not focusing on a console version of the game at all at this point. We're just fully focusing on a PC version. We don't have a console version in development. Possibly down the line, we're not ruling anything out. We have worked on console technology before for our MMOs. So it might be, it's a door that we're not closing, but right now people shouldn't be holding their breaths. I mean, it's the PC game that we are building now.
Earlier today we saw a glimpse of the Secret War, the browser type, the browser version prequel to the Secret World.
Yep.
Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. The Secret War is a browser-based social online experience, basically. So you take a personality test. You visit our website and you click join the war. You do a personality test that determines what secret society you're a part of, and you sign up and you register with your Facebook account because we use the social networking features of Facebook to sort of power this ongoing conflict. So when you get into the game, you see a world map, and you see all the different countries in red, green, and blue colors, depending on what secret society has the most influence in those countries. So you as a player can recruit your friends into this experience, and you can use them as agents. So you can, for instance, click on the United Kingdom, and you can put 3 of your friends there. And if you're, for instance, an Illuminati player, then the Illuminati will be gaining influence in the United Kingdom. So you can see the power of influence changing all the time, and it actually changes minute by minute. So it's really cool. As you're doing this, as you're helping your secret society, you gain ranks. You climb up the ranks in your secret society as you gain points. And each rank unlocks rewards that you can use in Secret World MMO when it launches, like weapons, clothes, elixirs, stuff that, there's even flare guns, I think.
Wow, brilliant.
That you can, useful. That you can use in the Secret World when it launches. So the top reward is basically getting guaranteed paid access, but you can also win, for instance, a trip to Montreal to visit the developers there. So it's a great way for players, I think those who are invested in the Secret World and part of our community, to get a taste of that conflict before the game launches.
Get a head start even.
In many ways, absolutely. And the really cool thing is that with our community is that we have hundreds of thousands of people who have already flagged what secret society they belong to, and they take it very seriously, which is great. I mean, they're putting their secret society logos on their Facebook profile pictures. They're discussing it in social media and forums everywhere. So we launched this thing today, and we're seeing tons of people going in there just wanting to make sure that their secret societies are own the most countries in the world, for instance. So it's really cool.
Excellent. Well, look, I have to say I can't wait for this. In 3 words, how would you describe Secret World, and why should people buy it in 3 words?
Yeah. Modern, freeform. Story. Is this a word? Storytelling. Yeah.
It was definitely hooked. So the beta, when can people expect?
Well, we have an ongoing closed beta, but if you pre-order the game now, you will get guaranteed access to every beta weekend that we're going to be doing from May 11th until the game launches on June 19th. So it's a great way to get a head start in the game. Well, not a head start, we'll be wiping before we go live, but it's a great way to get a taste of the game before we
Brilliant. And then we've been asking everyone this today. What was the first game that got you invested, brought the passion to life, and got you into the games industry?
Yeah, well, I've been playing games forever. I've been playing consoles that I can't even remember the name. I remember one of the first ones was Orange. That's all I remember. But I think the one game that really just changed everything for me was Ultima Online, probably. It's just the feeling of this huge world, and you had to carve out your sort of little destiny. You could, make bread or make weapons, and you could buy a home, open a shop. I mean, that virtual world was something that really compelled me, and I remember in the mid-90s, and this is what I want to be working with.
And so you made your own now.
Absolutely, and actually, I mean, at the end of the 90s, I actually made as a hobby project, I made a sort of Zelda-like MMO. It sort of looked like Zelda. The graphics and everything was very Zelda-like. It wasn't Zelda, of course. That was an MMO, and I think it had a few thousand players, and I worked on it for a couple of years.
And the name of that is?
The name of that is actually Era Online.
Okay, so everyone, you've heard that. Now go get downloading and get on it.
I don't think anyone's running it anymore, but it's on Wikipedia at least. And from there, I got into gaming journalism and regular journalism, and then eventually I ended up in FunCom. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, look, Erling, thank you very much, and everyone, that's Secret World, and it's out
June 19th.
June 19th. So put that in your diaries.